connect your machine first.
See, basically now the environment is like that. My server is located in the server room, and I don't know where the server room. It might be a remote location, it might be inside the premises, or maybe in the cloud also. So how do I connect to that particular server? So we normally Windows has a tool called remote desktop tool, and you can use that tool. So first you have to give the IP of the server, which I have already put. Now it is asking for a credential, that means username and password. So I have to type the password and username. See, this is a certificate, this is a security certificate, it is checking. If it is incorrect, that means it is not secure right now, our connection, so the server is alerting us. See, this is the server. Okay, these are the server details. The actual server will look like this. See, name of the server. Now,
server it is Windows 2000.
This is Windows 2008 R2.
R2, okay.
So basically, this is something called server manager. With this tool, you can basically manage the server. Different types of that day I have shown you, and today will be I'll give you a little explanation of different tools. Let's see. A server is always assigned for a particular purpose. So we have to first find out why do we need to install that server. I'll show you. That's why there is a feature called roles. So what is the role of our server? See, if I now we do not in this server Active Directory. Do you know what is Active Directory? It's a directory service. Directory service means, suppose in a network we want to manage, there are a lot of components like laptop which will be there, there will be desktop, there will be different servers, then machines, then printers. All has to be managed from a single console. That's why we use this directory service plus security. You can control the security. Suppose you have 10 in your network, you have 1 lakh machines. It won't be humanly possible to go to each machine and basically update window patch or anything, or policy or security features. So from Active Directory you can control the entire network plus the component of the network. Components mean laptop, desktop, and whatever the printers or Wi-Fi device, everything. Plus it gives also security also. Security like authentication. This will authenticate the users. Suppose somebody wants to come to our network, normally he won't be allowed to. You have to create an account in the Active Directory and allow certain permission, then only that person will be able to join the network. So these are the components. So if I click the add role, I'll show you. These are the roles. See, Active Directory certificate service, that's a security. Suppose that if you generate that tool, it will assign a certificate. You have to install that certificate in each and every computer, and then only you will be able to join the unauthorized person won't be able to connect the network. That means it's a secure thing. Then there is, this is already installed Active Directory service. federation service meaning, suppose you want to go to the cloud, plus you want to basically join the network also. So or thought that you want to go to another service which is connected to your network. Every time you have to put username and password. So this will basically give you single sign-on federation service. Then this is light directory service. These are the different service. That day I showed you DHCP server. So here you have to enable it. Then DNS server. Suppose you want to create this server as a DNS server, then you have to enable this. File server, fax server. Hyper-V is window virtualization.
Hyper-V. VDX, then MDV, and then Hyper-V. Hyper-V is
Windows virtualization. I have shown you everything today.
Okay.
So, and this is network policy. This is print server and print and document services. You have to remote desktop. By default, remote desktop won't be enabled in the server for security reasons. So you have to enable this one. This, what is this? Do you know? Web services. Suppose if you want to make this server as a web server, then you have to enable this service. I told you deployments is window deployment service. You have to activate these two. Suppose there are 10,000 machines and you are one of the administrator only. You are a single administrator and you have to manage the whole network. Suppose there is a window update. But normally in a server environment or Active Directory environment, it won't be automatically installed. So you can push this, activate this and push the file to all the machines. And suppose there are 40 machines and I want to create this deployment service. I want to install operating system in each of the machines, volume license. So there will be single window key. I have to load that key in the image and I can deploy. And I have to enable in each computer, I have to enable PXE services in the BIOS. So it will load, it will search the network for the operating system and it will automatically get loaded. So that helps to increase your efficiency and time. So these are all the tools and this is the update sheet, Windows Server Update Service. That means the server will first update itself and then it will release the patches to all the computers connected to that particular server. These are the different types of tools. So, and you can basically check how your server is running and what are the things installed. All the details will be shown here. Suppose if you have created an Active Directory, the user and computers, you have to add users here. Now it won't work because we don't have Active Directory in our campus. Now it's not the same. Not operational, it is same. So once you install it, then you can assign different. And do you know what are policies on Active Directory? Certain, suppose I want to block Google to certain section of people, but others can access. Though from Active Directory I can control that also. So I can make a policy and apply on particular users. And these are, see what are the current basically configuration of the server and what are the things installed. And these are diagnostic tools. Suppose you are having some problem in the server, how will you know? So from this diagnostic tool you can check what are the, see, these are the different components, like it will show you the performance here, summary log, critical error, all types of things it will show. And performance, how is your processor, then disks and network and RAM being utilized. So here you will be able to get.
So the performance monitor, why this RAM utilization is not showing?
No, it is not configured. One moment. Event log is event. Suppose different types of event and logs, you can check it here. window logs, and this is a resource here. It will show here. Just give a little bit of time. It will see how much CPU utilization 100%. Different type of memory, ticks, and what are the process. How much memory is everything. You will get all the details from it. What are the services running? DIX uses. This is the DIX. This is the network. Everything you will get from here. Then I will show you. See, this is the normal configuration. Configuration. This is the security window firewall. I'm not going into that right now. These are the services normal. Suppose some service is creating problem or something, then you can check it here. Or if it is not running, then you can make it run from services. See, these are the normal users. From here you can create different users. Now we have suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 users. No? How do I create a user? I have to right click here, new user, username, password, and here you can control those things. Suppose I am just creating another test user. Test. I have to. You can give description, demo, like demo. Password you can assign, and this password also. Suppose if you have an Active Directory, this password, how many characters the password needs to be, all those things you can define. And for security purpose, you can assign. Suppose every 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, the password will automatically get reset. So user will keep on changing their password. That helps into secure the accessibility. So here, suppose if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. User must change the password in the next login. Suppose if I have given 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a demo password. It's a very easy password. So next time when the user logs in, he has to, by default, he has to change the password of his choice. If I click this, now if I off this, then the user, it won't ask the user to change the password. He can log into 1, 2, 3, 4 only. So user cannot change the password. If I click this, that means the user, whatever password I have given, user has to follow that password only. And their password never expires. Suppose in your Active Directory, if the password expiry period is 30 days, every 30 days, automatically for every user, the password will get itself reset. So you can, if you click this thing, password never expires. Suppose that is generally created for a server or a machine which automatically logs into the network. So you don't want that machine's password to get changed every 40 days. So you click this option. Password never expires. An account is disabled. If you click this option, the account will get disabled. I'll show you. This has been created. Now if you want to reset set password, that means again you want to change the password, you have to click this option. Properties to show like this. And member of, now that user account which I have created is not given admin access, it's a standard account. Suppose if you want to add that particular user to the admin group also. See, now the server administrator. Now this account will be part of the admin group. It has come. And so if you want to delete this one, just delete it. It's gone. The same thing you need to process. This is a user creation. And if you want to make a group, like now the administrator group, that means those people who will fall into that group will have access to everything for this server. Suppose you want to create a group for with different accessibility, so you can create new groups. Right click, new groups. The same procedure, group name, and you can assign rights for a particular activity. Suppose that group needs to access a directory. You don't want other people to access, so that thing you can give. This is the disk management. This is a server disk. Here you can basically, I'll just ask you one thing. I have this disk, D drive. I want to, that system is running right now and I want to partition this disk. Will it be possible?
You have gone through this one, huh? You have done this?
It is possible. So just right click on this thing, shrink volume. See?
They have done.
No, they are not saying anything else. I have seen it also being taught that way. So this is basically for disk management. Windows 10 Enterprise and Windows 7 Enterprise editions has something called BitLocker. Do you know what it is? What tool it is? Encryption. Here I don't know if BitLocker because it's an old operating system. That is Windows. Everything needs to be there in this machine. No, it won't be because in old system, but Windows 10 machine Enterprise Edition or Ultimate, you will find BitLocker. Windows 7 also has it, but in Enterprise and Ultimate Edition, something called BitLocker. With that, you can encrypt. Suppose if you enable BitLocker, the whole drive will get encrypted, and you won't be able to access the drive unless you put the credential, that is username and password. And that is useful for pen drive also. Suppose I want to transfer a very secure data with a person. I can lock that pen drive with BitLocker. And then even if that person tries to open it, he won't be able to open it. This type of things, file you can, email also you can send by that thing, BitLocker. The email will go, but only the authentic user will be able to read it. Otherwise the other people won't be able to. This is the same thing, whatever. This is another interface for creating new users. Add or remove users, create users, change password.
These are the options available.
Yeah, this is that's why I showed you. Any other thing you want to ask?
Assigning IP.
Huh? Yeah, how do we assign IP? Just go there, see, change adapter setting. These are the three networks we are connected. Suppose if I, for this network I want to change the IP. Go properties, then these are the IPs. I can change the IP. Should I show you once again how do you access this part? You already know. And what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv? That you already know. But right now we are still using IPv4 because there are lot many routers in the network, not only university or your university's network, but throughout the world. So basically those things doesn't support IPv6. That's why we still need to use IPv4 only.
Is there any other option that the servers provide that other machines provide?
Like what type of?
We don't have any idea. That's why.
No.
Is there any other options that we can do through the servers?
Directory service you cannot, and for policies you can make on the servers only.
And another thing is that can you install VMware normally?
Yes, but you have to format it on this. Bare metal you need to format, or otherwise you just VMware you have to get it installed like any other software. Otherwise everything is same. Only the strength and like some directory service, file server, all those stuff I showed no list of those you cannot use in a normal machine because those are specific server function and each server has a role to play, so that is called adding role. Why do you need to use a server? File server, FTP server, or whatever it is. Actually, I need to go right now because some people are waiting.
Okay, thank you, Devali. So still if you have any